Oh,
hello.
I think everyone finally got to hear the music.
Yeah, I think it finally worked. I worked the intro out.
Well, and then the good thing is that I couldn't hear it as loudly because it was playing for all of you.
Yeah, so
however you did it this time.
Yeah, so I figured
I'm not nearly as nervous.
I'm learning StreamYard, so I think it makes all the difference to give something as opposed to quiet content. So, welcome everybody to another episode of Into the Nexus.
Yes.
We haven't had one of these in a little while. It's always hard to get together every other week, especially now with winter.
Oh, this time of year,
and holidays and all of that stuff going on. But I think we have a pretty cool set of topics to talk about today.
Yeah.
Our light agenda, our loose agenda is we'll have Gary go through and tell us, since he's going to run today's show. I'm under the weather.
Still.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have been asking, like, where are you guys?
Yeah, we owe our patrons a lot of messages because
we have been just personally. I mean, we had PAX, which we'll talk about a little bit tonight, and then we have been like under the weather with I think everybody's just getting hit with all kinds of weird bugs. Yeah. So your throat thing has not let up.
Not good.
So,
but let's do intros first before we start out. For those of you who may or not know us, I'm Anthony from Ant Lab Games.
Yep, I'm Francis also.
All right, and then we have our good friends, Allie.
Hi, I'm Allie from The Family Meeple. You can find me primarily on Instagram, Facebook, and sometimes I get my camera out and do some YouTube as well. But mostly for YouTube, it's going to be over here on Ant Labs.
Cool, and Allie's been missing for a couple of episodes, so welcome back. And of course, breath of fresh air.
and his Elsa suit.
Yes.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody out there. If you're watching this in the future in the summertime, you'll be a little late for all this, but glad everybody's here.
Or early.
Yeah, we're early. That's right. Yeah, or early. But yeah, it's good to be here as always, and just really looking forward to it. And you asked for the rundown of tonight's topics, and I will be asking for some chat participation here in just a little bit. But I thought tonight, what we'll first, they're going to talk about PAX. I didn't make PAX. Allie, you didn't go to PAX, right? No. Brandon and Vanessa and Lexi and obviously you guys were all at PAX. And then after that, we're going to just talk a little bit about kind of what we thought the highs and lows of the year in review of 2023 in board gaming. So chat, be thinking about some of that. I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts were on that. And then also have a little over-under. You'll go. A lot of these content creators like to do their little predictions and stuff of like the next following year. That's fine and all. I thought maybe we'll do a little over under. It's a little bit different. So we'll do some. I have a few statements about 2024, and I'll give obviously a numerical predictive value, what I kind of think, and you guys will just tell me if you think it's going to be over that number or under that number. And also that's where we'll have the chat also kind of get involved. We'll take a consensus of the chat, see what their over and under is. And then in 1 year, we will come back. We will revisit all of this.
I'm so excited to see what Gary has.
We will see we'll see who's the best predictor out there. And then, just after that, and then talk about a little bit of games. We'll be playing over the holidays. And should be fun.
Nice.
Sounds like a great agenda to me. Can't wait to watch this show.
I can't watch this one. It's so good. So we'll start off. I guess we could talk a little bit about PAX. Like I said, Gary wasn't there. Allie wasn't there. Brandon and Alexi were there. I think they did their own PAX kind of recap, which you can check out over on their channel. They're not with us tonight. But Vanessa was also there. I think she might be in the chat. She usually is. So she can chime in with her thoughts as well. And then we did get to see our good friend Matt over there too, who's on the show sometimes. And he's also not with us tonight, so you're probably just going to get our recap.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, we're the only ones who are on the show that went to PAX, but we'll give you our experience, right? It's our local convention.
Yeah.
So we go every year, and so we've seen the highs and the lows, right? So let's just talk about. Numbers,
how did this year stack up versus previous years?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the best year of PAX.
I agree with that.
As far as the convention itself goes, I don't think it was the best year for games at PAX, but it definitely it had a lot of attendance. Like Saturday was really packed.
Yeah, well, it was funny because we always go Friday. We usually go Saturday for like I say half day, but like really what I mean is like we don't stay until 6 and then do a nighttime thing there. Yeah. So we stay usually through the day. And then we don't usually go Sunday. This year we went Friday. Friday felt more like a Saturday to us because it was that packed. And crowded, we actually ran into some folks who like this was their first convention as a publisher. And they're like, oh, it's like so busy. We weren't prepared for this. And it's like, well, just wait for tomorrow because it's going to get even busier. So definitely attendance was up this year, which was refreshing. And then we ended up actually going Sunday too. And we took the kids. Yeah, we took the kids Sunday. We've never done that. I think the last time we tried to take the kids, we took Leona. I was very early pregnant with Lucas. And they kicked us out. Yeah, they booted us out. Salty at PAX.
Yeah, well, because it was vax mandated. So and it was before they approved it for kids.
Yeah, and
it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
I wouldn't have given it to her anyway. But yeah, it was not whatever. So we couldn't go. We did the Christmas market instead, and Anthony ran in that day and got some games. But
this one was no mask, none of that.
This one was like
none of that nonsense.
It was as if it were like 2019 again. It felt so good.
Yeah.
To just be back there and like get to see everybody and so many people came that like couldn't come previous years. So it was great. It was really good. I will say personally, like my experience when we first walked through on Friday, I was a little bit like underwhelmed by the games. And I was kind of even said to you, I think in the morning, and it could have been because we had to wait in that stupid line. And I was in a bad mood.
Yeah, they do really bad with managing the lines.
It was like, I'm like, this is all it is. All it seemed like was a lot of card games. It was a lot of light, medium weight, just kind of like meh kind of stuff. It was a lot of like people just calling you over like, hey, you want to play my space deck builder?
Yeah, like, because we need another space themed deck
play another one of those. So it was just kind of like a lot more of, because we're kind of going into it with a little bit of fatigue, which we've talked about all year. So you're really looking for something to kind of, light you up a little bit different. And it took a while, maybe because people were still getting set up to really get to that point where we felt like, okay, there's some cool stuff here.
I think
was the line was the line just to get into the show, or
there were two massive lines. The one line is if you didn't have a badge. One line was if you had a badge. If you didn't have the badge, it was going to take you to will call. So that line was wrapped around an entire Philadelphia city block. The other line was just to get in if you had the badge, and it was another opposite Philly city block.
Right.
So
sounds like the Lorcana line I stood in.
Yeah, it was ridiculous because the hardest bottleneck is the security because it's Philly. And I don't mind that because it's Philly. Yeah. And you don't know what's out. Like there's a lot of trash in Philly. So
there's a lot of like where the convention center is located. You have there's like 2 train stations that are within that city block kind of. So you do have a lot of people like getting on the train, getting on public transport and stuff like that. So it makes sense to have it, secure. You feel good when you go in, but it's just a matter of standing in that line and I get cranky.
So the line was brutal, but
it wasn't bad.
Nah. So what I was saying before was like we like to use the conventions as sort of like, or at least how we used to. We used to love to go to a convention to find those secret games that you haven't really heard of, or it's like, look at this publisher, they've got this new thing, and it's just not the case anymore. You know exactly what's out. There was nothing released. Everything that we asked, because we talked to a lot of publishers, and everything we asked for, they were like, oh, it's hung up. There's a delay at the ports again.
Right.
So I don't know if it's a China freight thing or just
it's like a port issue again.
Port issues that all the stuff they were expecting to get at PAX didn't come in yet.
Yeah. But there were a couple of things, and I don't think they were necessarily PAX releases that were big. But one of the reasons we like PAX is that we tend to get a lot of those games that were released, like everything that was released at Gen Con that everybody was going bananas over is always there in mass at PAX. You can get it. It's not a big deal. And a lot of times, like a lot of the Essen releases you can get because Zulu's is there. Some of the companies bring over some of the other things that they're getting, that they have released like in the last couple of months or so. One of the ones we played that we really enjoyed was Kut Nahora from CGE, which we just put a video up the other day on that one. And I think that was like the turning point for me at the con, because I was like, finally.
She found a game she liked.
A game I liked.
I was like, right.
And it's different and it's cool and like, it made me feel that excitement that it's been a while since I feel like we've gotten that.
The excitement it's always exciting for like we hadn't done a lot of research on it, so we had no idea what we were walking into. So we demoed it, and after the demo, we were like, "We're buying this game." Like, this was just like
this is how it's supposed to be.
Yep.
So
we didn't get a lot of that.
Do you think some of it is? Well, I mean, maybe this is controversial. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't run these things.
Hey.
But I just feel like PAX comes at just a weird time. You just had Gen Con. You literally just had Essen. You got BGG Con going on, and they get a lot of games from Essen. Because that's a pretty big con, been around forever. And I've always wondered, like, I wish PAX, I don't know, would maybe go and compete with Origins. Then you kind of get those spring, because that'd be right after Gamma or whatever. And you kind of get those spring early games, maybe some, teasers was coming along, but I don't know.
Right.
Maybe that's just me, but put it in the
That's
summer.
True. Yeah. It is. It's definitely a weird time to do it where everyone's
right
kind
after
of
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's
really, I think that's exactly it, because we're kind of fatigued when it gets to that, but it's the only con we really go to. So we get excited for that part of it.
Right.
But yeah, it is. I wish it was earlier in the year for sure.
Yeah. A couple of other highlights. Did you have any other games that we tried out that we played that you?
Well, I was excited. We haven't played it yet. I read the rules, and I still don't even know what the game is about yet. But Earthborn Rangers. So,
a lot of people are talking about that one.
We ran into Alex Radcliffe, right, Board Game Co. So we were chatting with him for a little bit, and I asked him. I said, "Well, what's your favorite game so far at the convention?" And he says, I don't have one yet, but everybody I've asked so far had told me that Earthborn Rangers was their favorite. So,
which I had seen on our first pass around the convention.
Yes, and you kind of looked at it because it has some it's pretty art. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
It's really like naturalist art, very simplistic, but it's pretty. And we both looked at it. We were like, I don't know. They didn't have. It was a small publisher. Didn't have a lot of copies, so we walked around. Next day, they still had a few more left. So I'm like, I might not be able to get this in retail if I find that it's really good.
Yeah.
So let me just, it was $100 for this game, first of all.
Oh, wow. Is it a campaign game?
It is.
It's kind of like an open world
campaign. It's a card game, basically a deck builder.
Right.
And you're like basically a post-apocalyptic ranger going around Earth trying to reseed it or whatever. But you're going on different scenarios, you're leveling your guy up. It's all card-based, 100% cards.
Yeah. But it seems pretty cool. So
it looks very rich narrative. It's got a book, a scenario that has little excerpts and stuff like that with story. So it looks really good. It's really, you want to grab the box? I can show.
Yeah, I can get it.
It looked really interesting. I'll show you guys with the box.
It's got some interesting art on the front.
It does. The style itself is really nice. But I opened it up and went through all the cards and stuff, and it looks, like I said, it looks pretty. There's a lot going on, but I think it's a narrative story game. Yeah.
So that's a thick box.
It is.
Right?
It's big.
But it's mainly, it does have, it's like the books are like really thick for manuals.
Right. Well, and they were actually selling also
but it's
full on like lore manuals as well. So like actual backstory and like even more stuff. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, it's mainly cards, but there is like it's a campaign where they've got the map and you go to the different areas on the map and you're gonna walk around and do your stuff. But
you guys can't
but the art's like it's just pretty clean art.
Yeah.
So they won me there. So it could be a terrible game. But the fact that it looked really cool, the fact that the one game Alex told me about,
and it was this. It's not like anytime there's something that you don't know if you're going to be able to get it in retail.
That's when you get worried, right?
Seems like it might be like it was already one that I had looked at, and so we were like, let's just go ahead and get it.
Hey, look, worst case, if I don't like it and you don't like it, then I'll sell it for $400 on eBay.
Yeah, right.
Because no one can get a copy of it now.
I'm trying to think of if there was anything else besides. My biggest takeaway was sort of like you're definitely seeing a lot of that influence with the card games and stuff. We got Aldebaran Duel.
Aldebaran Duel we played, which is a Suchi game.
Yeah.
Because Suchi.
That was good. That was
really
good, actually. I think Allie probably liked that one too.
We actually enjoyed that one.
That
was
has
pretty
solo,
fun.
right?
It does.
It does. Yeah. Yep.
It's 1 or 2 players.
Yeah.
Which 2-player games always suck us in too, because it's like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah. We picked up a couple other things, but
yeah, we do. We have some stuff we're gonna do videos for. So I mean, you'll see all that. But overall, I think it was a good networking convention.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice to kind of be able to see a bunch of people, like I said, that we haven't seen in a while. We saw Dr. Finn. And I will say that was probably my favorite, that Scribble Me This game they have coming out. So he's partnering with somebody else, Zach, and I can't remember his last name, to put together this. They don't want to call it a party game, but it's, for lack of a better term, it's kind of like a party game where it's sort of like Pictionary, except you're all given a card that has a phrase on it or a thing, I guess, and you have to draw it. But then all the drawings kind of are not labeled. So it's like a board that has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or however many people are playing. And so you just have pictures. And then everyone's cards get turned back in and you shuffle them up and a riddle is revealed for each of the words. So you might have gotten a word. You don't even know what your riddle says, if that makes sense. So you reveal the riddle and then everybody has to try to guess which picture is associated with the riddle. And that's how you get your like points and stuff. So it's really like a unique kind of take if you're in, especially if you're somebody like me who's like into wordplay. And
yeah, it was cool. I don't normally go for those games, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably be covering, that'll be like one of our very, very limited Kickstarter.
Yeah, we're cutting down severely on it.
Yeah.
But there's a new Devere game coming. There was that one that was like in like some like weird salt flats area.
Yes. So is it Solana?
I forget the name of it, but there's a new one coming.
Yeah, that looks really
looks
good.
Absolutely sick. We'll have to figure out what the name of it is at some point.
Well, Kickstarter, you said that's coming?
I don't know if it's coming Kickstarter. It's just coming out like soon, like early next year. And they showed us they had a prototype box of it, and I was looking at I was like, oh boy, yeah, this is exactly what I need, because their games have been fire. You know what I mean? Like lately,
they have been doing a lot of good games lately.
What publisher?
Devere. You know, like White Castle.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've just been.
They've really been
crushing it, man. Like they really have been. Like I've not been disappointed.
Not at all.
By them at all.
Yeah. No. So we'll have to.
We'll look it up. We'll do some research. We'll figure it out. If somebody in the chat knows, it's a new Devere game coming. Has something to do with getting fuel out of
starts with an S.
Like some weird like sea area, like inland
Siphon?
sea. It's I forget the name, but it would look really cool.
Yeah,
all right, so
it's gonna bother me now.
So that was PAX. So it was a good time. We saw a number of other content creators there. Tell you what, we were in the content creator. We get access to a media room, right?
Yeah.
And it's upstairs, it's off the beaten path. The best part about it is that it's a private space, like so to speak, but we don't really use it for that. But you get access to a locker, so you can store. It's big enough to store a couple board games in, but your jacket and stuff you don't want to like drag around with you.
Sorry, Salton
Sea is the name of it.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous.
SALTONC.
Salton Sea.
Yeah, you can Google it now. SALTON and C SEA. Yeah. Yes, we did. We took Vanessa for we took Vanessa out for pho. That is what we do in Chinatown, right outside of outside of PAX.
Bubble tea, Hong Kong bakery.
Yeah, you can get all sorts of good stuff. So it's good. But yeah, check out that Salton Sea. Looks amazing. But that's about PAX.
I think that's like
I don't want to go on
a recap as we can do. I think with just the two of us.
Yeah. So we can get back to any questions, you two. I don't know.
No, not for me.
All right, Gary, give us the next topic.
Right. Well, so highs and lows of 2023, and actually one of my highs I had for 2023 is just cons are back. I mean, 2022, well, you just said last year was still a little weird with PAX. A lot of people didn't go. Gen Con was still kind of getting back a little bit. They still had weird things. I didn't go because, I wasn't going to be fooling around with all the nonsense and everything. But I tell you, this year, I mean, I know Origins did well. Gen Con, this was probably the largest Gen Con. I mean, I know they said there was like close to 70,000, but, the real numbers are probably pushing 80 to 90 easily.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see that.
Essen had a large amount of people coming, and of course, obviously, PAX has two city block lines going down them. So, I think one of the big things that is nice for people that do love to go do those are, cons are back, and also, just little cons. You're starting to see the little cons come back. And I know we don't have Brandon and Lexi here tonight, but AAG retreat that went really well. You always hear about the dice.
Yeah, we missed you there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we gotta get some retreats in full for 2024 for sure. Yeah, but yeah, I just think that's one of the big ones that I think it really helps the industry, and just, seeing people getting back out there and getting games. Now I will say, like I said when I talked about Gen Con, everybody needs to remember, I know we've all been shut in for 3 years, but with the whole Lorcana Slam Fest the very first day, that was great. But no,
we got ours. Yeah.
But other than that, but no, I that was like one of my big highs for the year. Oh, you got it. You finally hunted it down, huh?
No, you could. I got right in line. And just bought 2 starter packs and a couple of boosters.
Crazy. You just jump in line and get 2.
It was. I was in line for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is unopened. I have one I open. I haven't opened this one yet, but we want to try it. Actually, play the game, see if it's any good.
We were going through the cards with our daughter, so she was excited.
Yeah. I want to see what kind of foil I got.
Well, I think you get like 1 or 2 per per booster or something like that. Yeah,
I think you get one. Yeah, one comes in the starter too.
And of course, the second, I forget what they even call it. The second series has just been released. Though, you want to talk about a low? Let's just go ahead and talk. Okay, as high as Lorcana was, Lorcana's got to also be one of the biggest lows out there for 2022. I mean, I was just at first off, what happened at Gen Con was, just a nightmare. And it was just, the release just was not great, especially that first day.
Yeah.
I mean, there were literal fights, right? Okay. And then they didn't have enough product, and product didn't get to local game stores. But what Ravensburger did was they just sent it to like Target and Walmart. And so everybody would go and get those and then sell them at, crazy markups on eBay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not that I know about, selling anything on eBay.
No, you would never do that.
That's besides the point. But then, did you hear recently? It was like a few weeks ago. Okay, so they're like, okay, well, everybody just sign into our website and pre-order the next series, right? And so they got a DDoS attack. And
wow.
everything.
Oh, wow.
They don't know who was in line. I don't even know if they even know who paid. I mean, it was like a nightmare. Yeah. So that's been going on. So I was at my local game store 2 days ago, and he was telling me he just got Lorcana in. He just got it in. Wow. He's the biggest game store here in Indy. He just got it in. They haven't been doing organized plays anywhere. They don't. It's really bizarre. I don't know. This game should have been massive because we talked earlier in the year about how all these publishers are we're going to card games now and TCGs and all these sort of things, and then here comes the biggest one out there you could imagine, and it's been a train wreck after train wreck after train wreck.
It's almost like they were testing the waters with it, like not even understanding what we were saying, not they're listening to us, but I feel like the experts in the prediction market, like trying to market these trends and stuff,
right?
They're like, maybe this will be a thing. Let's try to push it. So they did their marketing thing and tried to push it a little bit, but didn't realize how big that draw really has become.
Or it's like the PlayStation 5, where it's like we're pushing the new next gen console. We're going to take 2 years to actually finally get it in stores. I don't know if it might even take 3 years.
Right.
Like how do you
that's true.
Want to drum up excitement for your product and just not deliver the product? You got people lined up waiting to spend money.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's
So it just doesn't make sense.
And another thing is, I mean, maybe it's just me. I kind of think I'm kind of watching, boards and, just kind of the general survey of gaming in general, but I don't even really know anybody that's playing it. I don't hear anybody.
Actually,
really
I don't even know.
Right. I know people have it, but is anybody playing the game? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't hear anything about it.
I don't really remember walking or by too much of that being played.
No,
the big area being played was that new Star Wars game for Fantasy Flight, like Star Wars. It's like another deck builder?
Is that the like Star Realms type Star Wars?
I think it's the brand new one. So. It's like I don't even know if they had it there to buy. They were demoing it.
Yeah. A lot of people are getting that. That's getting to be really popular. They're hoping they actually will, support it.
But it's like this is the second one they've delivered in like a year, like a new Star Wars deck builder card game.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they love slapping Star Wars on about everything.
Clearly,
and then they stop supporting it after like a year or two.
Yeah, like they quit. Like I just bought Star Wars a deck builder game. Like this year. Yeah. Early this year,
and
I'm like looking at this new one, and I'm like, is this like an expansion of it? Like they can't be making a new one already,
right?
I guess they are.
They are. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
So you're saying it's like Star Realms?
The Star Wars deck builder game. That's it's kind of that small box. Yeah, it's like it's Star Wars Star Realms. I mean, there are some little bit of twists in it, but it's got a lot of similarities to it.
So Marty,
it's a lot better. Yeah.
So Marty, Stars Unlimited is CCG with different deck builder. It's competitor to Lord Khan.
So that's the second. Yeah, the different one. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, interesting.
Who's publishing that one? If it's competing with
Fantasy Flight,
it's weird that they're all Disney owned.
Yeah, it's all Disney owned franchise.
Is that like weird to anyone else?
I thought it was weird.
You're right. Yeah, that's actually it is pretty funny. But Disney wins either way.
Yeah,
they win either way.
They're getting sales on both sides.
Bizarre.
That's pretty funny, man. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So we dove in.
So definitely a high and a low of 2023. Lorcana, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Lorcana fights and cons are back. That's my high and my low.
Allie, what are your what's your highs and lows?
Oh, geez. Well, highs, I think for me are definitely the cons and retreats. So this year I was able to go to Tantrum Con in like the early winter. I think it was January or February, and take my girls to that. And then got to go to the Dice Tower retreat again in September, and then AAG retreat also in October, and meet a whole bunch of people that, we chat with on the Discord and in the YouTube chats all the time, which was fantastic. Just missed Gary at that one.
Yeah.
So definitely highs are being able to go to that many sort of like events and conventions, which was new for me. Lows, I don't know. I mean, I've had a hard time playing like in person this year. Has been like a real struggle outside of the cons. Like if I go to a con, obviously I'm going to be playing, but finding time has been difficult. My kids are busy, and so yeah, I was shooting for 900 plays this year. I'm going to come up quite a bit short of that.
900.
Wow. What are you at?
Let's see, what am I at for the year? 765.
That's still pretty good.
Wow, that's pretty good amount of games.
But if I look at like last year, I was at 872, and the year before that, 2021, I was at 962. So like it doesn't seem totally off with 900, but I'm not going to get there. But that's
What's
all right.
Your most played?
Right. My most played, including online games, is Obsession. Right now.
Sounds like one.
Yeah. I mean, I have one going right now. I usually have a game going on like Board Game Arena that's just async. So I just constantly playing Obsession.
The game is so good. Wow. I can't wait for the new stuff when he finally gets it out next year. So
it's so good. Yeah, I backed the new Kickstarter too, get my metal coins coming and more new content.
Yeah,
I'm all about
a great
metal coins.
Me too.
Yeah, the coins in that game, they're thick, right?
They
fill up the middle of the board. Like, you're supposed to pile them in the center of that board
all over everything.
It was you guys that I first even heard about that game. I mean, you guys played it back when it got released.
This is what I did. So I watched a Rado run through of it, and I was like, wow, that game looks really cool. It looks unique. It's different. I was like, I'd love to do that. So I emailed the designer and said, I'd love to cover this.
Yeah.
And then he sent us the prototype. We did the coverage. He loved the coverage.
Yeah.
And we've been tight with them ever since. So it was the very beginning.
Yeah, that was way back.
That we
way back.
That we put that video out.
Yeah. And it's been one of our like number one for like people that come over, whether they're gamers or not gamers. Like it's one we always bring out and play. It's like a great game. Really great.
Yeah, it's really good.
With Brandon and Lexi. We introduced them to it. Just like
Brandon loved it.
Yeah.
Brandon finally gave it a try. Yeah.
Yeah.
We kept egging him on to try it.
I know, he was so adamant. He's like, it's ugly. And then we played it. And he looked at it. He's like, oh, it actually doesn't look as bad on the table.
I'm like, no.
With pictures.
You have to. You can't be reviewing games and not have played Obsession. It is
how long did it take him to start talking like a Victorian Brit? That's what I want.
No. I tell you, what's funny is I think the game went around one round of actions, and then it got to his turn again. He goes, "I love this game."
Yeah.
Like, it was like so. Like he immediately loved the game. Like as soon as he got what we were doing, he was like, "I'm sold." So fast.
It's so good.
I was like, "There's no doubt." Yeah. And it played fast for 4 of us. It moves. Like the game does move. Especially if you don't play the 20 round side.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, they're both good. Yeah. Both sides are good. Because when you get that 20, the 20 rounds, then you get some of those events that require higher reputation and require like more gentry. You can actually host some of those, which is super fun. So you can have these big turns where you're like, I have this level 6 reputation event that lets me host 9 different gentry. So you have like this huge party going on. It's like, and I get this favor and this favor and this favor and this favor. And now I'm going to buy this massive thing over here. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's true. Yeah. I guess you don't get as much of the end game in the shorter version. Because I think I was able to host one big, because I had rep almost maxed at that point. And I had
you got to max it out.
One big event. Yeah. I was just cooking up that. I had that one house that does the rep thing.
That was your bonus basically. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's a good one.
It was funny.
There's so many ways to play it.
Oh! We have a surprise guest.
It's a surprise guest.
A surprise witness. We were just playing lawyer up, and we one of the cards is surprise witness, and you slap it down,
and it gets rid of the current witness and brings in another witness, so it completely screws everybody up. So
that game is fun.
This game is
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we just played this last night.
This is season 1.
I need to get the solo part of that. There he is.
We also have season 2. I think the season 2 has the solo bit.
Yeah, season 2 has it. Yeah.
Yep. All right, Matt. I'm glad you joined, man.
What's up? I just saw the invite, so thanks.
Speaking of a low for 2023.
Yeah. Well, now we can get a little a separate side of PAX because we saw Matt there.
Sidebar.
Love
your sidebar token.
Yes, sidebar.
Sidebar.
So tell us all about your experience, Matt. I'll make you big. Hold on.
This was nuts. It was nice to see you guys for the minute that I did, or 10 minutes,
you got lucky.
5 minutes or whatever it was. I honestly, every time I see you guys, it's at PAX, and I'm like, I wish I got to talk to them longer because I felt really bad about it. The first day as a publisher, I had a 10x10, and I was alone, and I pretty much lost my voice by the end of the day. I had 5 of my games out, and like there was so many people that I didn't get to talk to, and then I took away. I only had like 3 games out. Then the next day, I had 2 other people helping me, and we were able to talk to everyone, which was great. And then the last day, for the first half of the day, I had people, and then the last half I didn't. So it's kind of like lesson learned as a publisher. Like I need help. I can't do everything alone because I pretty much do everything alone. I'm an indie publisher, so I do everything alone anyways. But yeah, for these conventions that have 30,000, 40,000 people or whatever PAX is, you got to have the help. It was rough without it. And I may have got COVID. I don't know. A lot of people were confirming it. I got really sick by the end of the day, but I ended up driving home after that anyway. So when I get sick, I just muscle through. You know?
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Crazy, but overall, good experience for you.
Yeah, for sure. I already signed up for next year.
Nice.
And I rearranged my booth where I have like demo tables now because it's so much easier where people just walk in, they can sit and play a game. And the tiny game series, they're 10, 15 minutes long, and then they're up and gone. And they're like, I want this or I don't. And I didn't have the tiny game series, unfortunately, because it's in production right now. But if I did, I probably would have sold probably 300 sirens, 200 defrag, and a handful.
I can see that easily. Yeah.
People were like, I want it now. And I was like, you can pre-order for March. And they're like, no, it's holiday season. I want to buy stuff. So my plan for next year is actually I'm going to do like a little fireplace setting and then put stockings with like my games going in them.
Oh, you should.
I love that. Yes.
So
take advantage of the time of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
So we'll see. But overall, I loved it. I love all conventions. I have fun at them. I like networking, meeting people, eating new food, stuff like that. But they definitely drain you. So, but I'm already planning out the 2024 convention season.
Crazy. And you're going to be at Tantrum Con, right? Did I just see that?
Yeah, just first year. I've never been there before, but I'm going to do Tantrum Con. Check it out. I got a demo table mainly to show like the tiny game series and the new one, Confusing Lands, coming up. But I might bring out some of the other stuff too. But also just networking and having fun. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I'm like in a lucky place where I'm like I'm working.
That's cool.
Like just having fun. You know.
Yeah.
This is a write-off. Who writes it off? The write-off people write it off.
How many cons do you plan on going to next year?
I'm cutting it back a lot. I'll probably do 6 or 7 max. Last year I did 11, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a lot.
Wow.
That is a lot.
Yeah. That's
but
crazy.
Gen Con, I'm already know where I'm staying. I'm staying at your place, so we're.
Yeah.
There you go.
Write myself into there.
I got a bed right over there. You can hop
Let's
on.
go.
Let's move the games.
Just make a bed out of the game.
Yeah. You sleep on some boxes.
That's awesome.
Thanks for inviting me on. We had like a game night over, and I was like, oh my god, an invite. Let me go jump on.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So
that reminded me.
What's up?
At PAX, we played Maracaibo Pirates. Remember?
Oh my
yeah, did you
gosh!
like that?
How did we forget about that? Loved it.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
This is going to replace. This would replace Maracaibo for us.
Will it?
Maracaibo is one of your favorites.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's one of those
My
ones
top
where
5.
it's one of those ones where like
It's good.
it's a race. So if you are a person that likes to stop and kind of smell the roses and do all the things along the way, you're gonna get crushed. And that's why I am. So Anthony's like, I'm just gonna sail around this thing like really fast. But what I liked about Pirates is that it's not a card game, but you use cards to play the game and you build the map out with cards. So it's variable. You can change the route like every time. It's different. And because of that, you just kind of move your boat and you're not thinking too much. You're not getting too stuck about like getting everything along the way because you're sort of like, what do I need to get? All right, let me get there. Let me do the thing. Let me pick up this. Let me get this resource. Let me do what I need to do.
It streamlines a lot of it.
And then you bring your boat back and you do it again. You bring your boat back, you do it again. It's just quick. It's fun. Yeah. It's rewarding. The tableau building is like perfect. It was amazing.
Hey, you don't have 1,000 of those little tiny circle cubes to put on your boat?
Oh, yeah.
Do the upgrade?
Well, is it still kind of like a race game, or do they take a race?
It is.
Okay.
No, it
definitely is.
Yeah, you can get pretty shafty because
it's
once somebody makes it to Maracaibo, it resets everybody else.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you don't get to finish your run, and then once it resets the third time, the game's over. Yeah. So you do have to maintain forward progress.
And there's a lot of triggers. Like if you're somebody who likes an action, might trigger a couple of other things, but it's not so much. So because we've been seeing that a lot in games lately, where like you do one thing and then you got to sit there for 10 minutes, like waiting for somebody to do like 9,000 other things because they're triggering stuff. But this is like you do something and then you can kind of just make the most out of that move by also gaining some extra benefits instead of taking a different action to get you the same benefits.
Yeah.
So you still have that challenge of like doing as much as you can in an efficient way, but also that not racy aspect, but like,
it's the pressure. It's the pressure of the race, which is pretty cool.
The race aspect.
And there's no like, they took away like the faction tracks. You don't deal with the countries anymore because you're a pirate, but you do have to like,
it's all about a pirate. Yeah.
You get treasure and you bury it and you get points for doing that.
But your tableau is your boat.
Yeah.
So like you get to put like a masthead on your boat and like you get to actually upgrade your ship and stuff cool. And you literally bury your treasure like under the sand. Like it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
it's good. I would still play Maracaibo, but I think if we had we had less time to play and you didn't want it to be like the big game of the night, you'd rip this out because you could get through it fast.
Yeah. That was really good. But
it was really good.
Ironically stuck at the port.
Yeah, that was stuck at the port. That was one of them.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
so more highs and lows.
Yeah, we're still doing highs and lows.
Yeah. So Matt, if you are still up to talk, we're kind of going over our highs and lows of 2023, and I guess they could be kind of personal highs and lows, but also like just kind of industry highs and lows, and in retrospect, like, what do you think about the year?
Yeah, sure. I guess from like a indie publisher perspective, just attending conventions has been a really high for me. I know for some people that are like introverted, it kind of drains their batteries. For me, it like energizes me. I'm like, after a convention, I'm like, what am I going to do next? Like, let's make it. Make it, like, I get excited.
Right.
But just the networking, like, it's different from like, obviously I'm just saying like an indie publisher where I'm working as a business, where again, it's fun for me, but networking, meeting people, increasing the people I know in clout and people to play games with or whatever you want to call it. But highs are definitely attending conventions. If you haven't, or if you're on the fence, even if you're not like a publisher or just somebody that is a gamer, I would say do it, just because it's a very welcoming environment. Like everyone's like, there's player wanted signs. We'll have it, a sign on their table that says players wanted. Like they just want someone to play with. They don't care about anything about you or who you are or what you are or anything like that. They just want to play games, and it's a very welcoming experience.
Agreed.
Everyone I've been to.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people to, from any aspect of the industry, start attending those. It's a great way to make friends, meet people. So those are definitely highs for me. And then some lows are just social media. Like if I didn't have a board game company, I would not be on any social media ever, basically. But I have to because, networking, being with people just organically is important. And I enjoyed a little bit. I've met a lot of people through too, so I enjoy that. But like, I'd be lying if I said like, if I post a video that I spent like an hour or making, and then it gets like 200 views on TikTok, I'm like, damn, that feels bad. And then, like, I try, and that's a weird thing to say, right? But it's like, I don't know, there's some like validation that people get from it. And it's kind of leaked into my own personal like life. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. So I try and tell myself like these videos are just for fun. Like it doesn't matter. Just enjoy yourself. But every now and then, like I'll post something that I think is like, this is awesome. Everyone's going to like this. And then like, TikTok algorithms like, by the way, here's 10 viewers. And you're like, all right, well,
right.
Cool. Just for anyone else out there, I'm just saying like, don't let that get to you. It does to me, even knowing that, so that's something I would just watch out for, I guess. So that was a high and a low, I guess, for my 2023 board game publishing networking life experience.
That's cool. Nice. What about you?
What's that?
Your highs and lows.
Did you have a high?
I do.
What is it?
I was reserving. Yeah, I was mad at PAX now. Matt.
That was the high.
Matt saw us in the first like 5 minutes of us actually getting into the convention, and I was in such a bad.
She was in a bad mood, man.
But I was, but it was okay. It's fine.
You didn't seem in a bad mood to me. So.
Well, it's because I'm always like, my baseline is pretty high. So
yeah, she was not having it at that moment. She needed it. She was like, I don't see any games I like.
Well, and it was, well, whatever. There was things, but anyway.
Yeah.
So highs and lows for me. I think like Allie said, I don't know if it's like a low, I guess, but just kind of a shift in our availability to play games has been kind of a low because it's been, we have kids, we have a lot of kids. We've got kids really young, we have toddlers, and we have like his oldest are like getting ready to graduate high school. So like everybody's busy. People are always like running all over in and out of the house, all that kind of thing. Kids are either sick or screaming or like, you're cleaning somebody. So getting the time and the energy to like play games has been challenging this year. And so combined with like the content creation aspect of there's like gnats in the house for some reason. But combined with like the work aspects of content creation sometimes can get a little bit like on you. So that's been frustrating. But I think we've sort of worked through that, which has been a high because we sort of know where we're going for next year and what we really want to focus on. So that's been good. Industry-wide, well, I guess I would echo too about the cons. I think everybody said that, and I just agree with that completely. It's great they're back. We had an opportunity to go to some smaller ones this year. We're going to some smaller ones next year, which is great. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Industry-wise, I think we are starting to see like a lot more of the, like I said, the smaller games, lighter, kind of like medium weight kind of games. Some are really good. And like, I'm not just saying this because he's on the stream, but like Matt's stuff that he's putting out in his publishing company is really good. And they're great because they're fun, they play quick, and they're small. So you can kind of take them with you wherever you're going. There's been a lot of like meh, where it's like another space game that's like mid-weight, not too light, not too heavy, like not too complex. Like it just kind of is a lot of the same. And that's what we saw a lot of that, like at PAX. Yeah. So I think
there's a lot of like generic worker placement games.
A lot of generic worker placement.
You'll see
just
that.
A lot of like, I don't think this is going to be memorable in a couple of years sort of thing, or even next year. So I feel we've been seeing a lot more of that in the industry because that's where a lot of the new gamers are kind of coming up wanting to play. Like you are seeing a lot more of these like TikTok sort of quick, goofy games, like, and that's just not where we're at. So my craving for like a strategic Euro, that has like not everything, but just a couple of things. Like, I guess it's just like my taste has been a little bit like refined, and I'm still trying to find some things that meet my needs.
Yeah, I guess we've been just not.
And this year's just been a weird year for gaming in general for us, I think.
There haven't been a lot of games that we've been excited for.
Yeah.
And I think that's where sort of you get disappointed, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of
so I guess that was,
I was just to say, it's interesting talking to people who have been in the industry for 10 years and 5 years and in the last couple of years. Like if I was to put a rating on 2023,
right?
I'd probably give it, for me personally, I'd probably give it about a 7.5, right? Now I know I would talk to some newer people like, oh, this game's awesome. Like, oh yeah, I can see where you're at. That would probably is pretty cool and awesome. Go for it, get it, whatever. I know something. I've played something. It's a little bit better. It's kind of I've already kind of have this game or whatnot. And I tell you we get into it later, but what's brought 2023 up for me is I've kind of found a new love, and some of that I blame like people like Marty, and that is getting into wargaming. And I'm like,
right
now, some of these war gamers out there, like, it's a pretty good game. I'm like, this is awesome. Where have I been? So, but in terms of just kind of the general hobby games that you're talking about, it's been an interesting year. It just hasn't been, there hasn't been like, not to get into top 10s or whatever, but I could maybe think of arguably 2 or 3 like really, really good games that are going to stand the test of time for a good little while. And I'm not talking about the campaign games. Those are kind of starting to be a whole another niche in and of themselves. But like last year, I thought was a pretty good year, not a great year, but the more I look back at 2022, like, wow, there actually was some pretty good games in 2022. I just feel like 23 took just a tad bit step back. And I don't know if maybe that's because we're kind of in that COVID lull where those games, are kind of now being pulled forward.
Yeah,
and like,
maybe,
maybe just a dry spell of just creativity. So, but I don't know. Matthew might have more on that than me. But
is there like some kind of fatigue in the board game industry? Like,
I think there's definitely some of that
fatigue, or just the market's oversaturated, or I don't know.
I agree with you 100%, and I think that was actually going to be like my sort of like my high, is like almost a hopeful high for 2024, is that I think we're starting to see a lot of people moving back to some of the older games. We're seeing more like reprints of games that are like great games that might just need like some new life breathed into them, like maybe, I don't know, not thematically, but like, what is that called? Like artistically, maybe. But like, we've talked to a lot of people who are like, I can't afford all these new $60, $70, $80, $100 games, but I'm interested in picking up some used games, you know what I mean? That are like, but I don't know about them because nobody's talking about them. So I'm kind of thinking 2023 to me, I think might have been like the year that hype starts to die, to be honest with you. Like, I know we're not talking predictions yet, Gary, but I think we might start to see less of the hype train and more just a revival of like classics and people starting to look at older stuff,
right,
and get a new appreciation and hopefully interest. And like, I'm at a lost for words today. My brain isn't working, but like a need for like all those old mechanics and like really solid stuff. And that's what people are going to want going forward. I don't know. That's my hope.
No, I think so. I would agree.
I think exactly. I mean, I've seen probably a little more hype lately about these old reprints that are coming out. Shipyard, El Grande is now the big thing. That's coming out like in just a couple weeks, I believe. I think that's Yokohama. That's another one. I know there's a few more.
Although
they had La Granja came out this year too.
La Granja, that's another one. Yep.
Yeah, they just keep reprinting the old games now, right? Castle of Burgundy.
Really
they did 51st State again this year too. That one got the Ultimate Edition.
That's right. Yeah.
So I mean, I
think we might see more of that next year too. I mean, I don't know what games that would be, but I think we're going to see more of that.
I mean, is it easier and cheaper to just buy the rights to print a game and then to design a whole new game to compete with that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Right.
So.
All right.
You want me to do my over-unders?
Yeah. Please, let's do that.
All right. So here's how this goes. So I got a few statements here, 6 or 7, I can't remember. I want everybody to give their own over and under. That way it's on record here on the screen. No, I didn't say that. Oh, yeah, you did. Let's roll the videotape. And also, I'll just take a consensus, so when I say this statement here, the chat can say what they think over or under and just try to vote just once, if possible. And we'll just take a general consensus. But basically, I am going to preface a few of these with a few stats because I like to, throw in some biases and really make you think about this just a little bit. But like I said, a lot of content creators putting out their predictions for the year. Let's do this just a little bit different, okay? And we'll circle back next year and we'll see what's going on. All right. So my first one here, okay? Let's just start off hot, right? Okay. In 2024, the most successful crowdfunded board game, that includes Kickstarter, GameFound, BackerKit, okay? Because BackerKit's Gloomhaven and all that sort of stuff.
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo, all that, yeah. For your $10,000 back game. The most successful crowdfunded board game in 2024 will make, and the line is $11.5 million. Now, in 2021, Frosthaven was the biggest at 12.9 million. 2022 Marvel Zombies did 9.03 million. And this year, Nemesis Retaliation, 12.2 million. So over under in 2024, the biggest crowdfunded game will make $11.5 million. We'll just start with Matthew. Go around the horn. Over under.
I immediately thought 11 million, so I'm gonna go under.
All right, under. Allie.
I'm also saying under.
Francis.
I'm going under too, only because I'm going with this hype is dying.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there you go. I like
Yeah.
that. All right, Anthony.
Well, being that I also believe under, but I won't be part of the herd, so I'm going to say over.
Over. All right.
I'm
This
glad
could
I
be
know your
different.
principle.
And it
Price
looks
is Right
like I'd
rules.
say, well, in the chat, excuse me, in the chat, it looks like for about, well, a few unders. So unless I see any more here, everybody's
You're
going
shorting
under $11.5 million.
You're gonna short it.
By the way, in
Okay.
case since we're at a tie already, possibly, bonus question: will it be on Kickstarter, GameFound, or BackerKit? Matthew,
Kickstarter.
Allie,
Kickstarter.
Francis,
I'll go GameFound.
Anthony.
Game found.
They're wrong.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to be in this too, so I'm going to go
They might be
over
right. I don't
on.
know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over, and I'm going to say GameFound too. I
Yeah.
don't.
Found's getting
I
some
don't.
momentum behind it. It really is.
Yeah, you
Mm.
never know what Awakened Realms is about to pull out.
Well, that's what I
That's the
said. It's
thing,
gonna be
like-
an Awakened Realms thing.
They own
them.
GameFound. So
Right.
They
own
do.
They do.
Yeah.
Right.
when they do a project, they put everything behind it.
You mess with the numbers.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, so that was the first one. All right, sticking with crowdfunded games, okay?
Mhm.
In 2024, the number of crowdfunded games that will break $2.5 million will be 12.5 games. In 2022, 11 games broke 2.5 million, and about 5 almost busted it. But only 11 broke 2.5 million. In 2023, this year, 14 broke 2.5 million. So the call for next year is 12 and a half games will break 2.5 million. Matthew, over under 12.5.
Being like optimistic, I want to see the board game industry continue to grow and bring more people into it. So I will say over.
All right, Allie.
I'm going to say
I'm saying over as well.
Francis.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over because I think we could get there. Just not that massive number from before.
Before Anthony says,
Under.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
he's going to go under.
He'll just do whatever I don't say.
I'm actually going to go under 2. The
I don't
only
think it's
reason
gonna-
is I think the economy may
Yeah.
be bad next year. I mean,
It's
it's
rough.
not
Student
getting
loan
better.
payments. Student loan just kicked in 2 months
Yeah,
ago.
that's true.
So it'll be.
I
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be close. I think I picked a pretty good number there. So I'm
Yeah.
also going to go
That's
I
a
hate
close
that you
one.
keep doing
under.
the 0.5.
Are you writing this down? Yeah.
So yeah, well, I will. I'll go back and check all this. I'll write it all down.
Oh, it is on. It is
When
on
they
tape.
do these odds in,
Video.
in sports, they never give a whole number.
Yeah.
It's always a 0.5
Yeah.
something. So
Right,
it
right.
makes it harder. All right, and it looks like everybody see the chat here. I see an under. I see 2 overs. I see another over. We'll call it over for the chat. We're gonna go over for the chat. In case of another tie, here's the bonus question: who will have the biggest game of one of these two? It may be somebody else, but out of these two, who will have the biggest game? Because these two guys have the biggest crowdfunders: Simon or Awakened Realms. Matthew,
Mm.
who will have the biggest crowdfunded game of those two? It's tough.
I wanted to do a different answer, but I don't know if they're crowdfunding their game. But I'm gonna go. Awakened Realms.
Okay.
With those 2 options only.
Just those 2 options. I know it might be somebody else, but
I'm gonna
between
go
those
Awakened
2.
Realms.
Okay. Allie?
I'm going Simon.
Francis?
I'm going Awaken Realms because Simon always screws with like their shipping. So I don't know if Awaken Realms like includes their shipping and it bloats their numbers a little bit. I don't know. That's my thought.
Possible. Anthony?
I think it's Awaken Realms with a new IP this year.
Okay. And I'm also going to go Awaken Realms on that.
Yeah.
I will say one, let's see. Well, I mean, yeah, some of these IPs are just crazy, but I think a surprise huge hit is going to be Eagle Griffin with Galactic Cruise.
Oh,
yeah.
I think that game,
wait, is Eagle Griffin doing that? I thought it was.
They signed him at Gen Con.
Oh, okay. Because it wasn't going to be. Wait, it wasn't going to be Eagle Griffin.
Unless it changed.
No,
I mean,
like,
I talked to the guy. He had just signed with Eagle Griffin, he said, or they had just, that the night before.
Cruise?
So
the indie published game that's been shown everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They signed with Eagle Griffin.
Yeah.
That's news to me. I'm going to see them at Tantrum Con, so talk to them. But I know they signed with.
Unless it changed, it could have changed.
Randa Games in like UK for UK distribution or something.
Interesting.
That's awesome. Good for them. That game's I've test played it a lot on TTS. It's a fabulous game. The guys are putting in the works. They're really cool guys. It's going to be huge. I think there's going to be a game bigger than that in 2024. And I'm just going to say, I think Gnome Hollow, it's being released by the op. I don't know if it's going to be direct retail or a crowdfund thing, but Gnome Hollow is going to fucking explode as well.
Gnome
Sorry,
Hollow.
language. Yeah. If you haven't heard about it, you're going to, they're releasing at Gen Con. It's going to be huge.
Awesome. I'm put that on the record.
Sorry, that's not.
Yeah.
Went on a tangent, so sorry.
And I see the chat also mostly the consensus is Awaken Realms. So, okay.
All right. Go Awaken
All
Realms.
right.
Go team.
Okay, let's get into a couple ratings here, okay? I mean, I just use BGG top list just because.
The only thing that matters.
Right. At the end of 2024, the number of new games in the BGG top 100. Now, when I say new, I mean, it could be a 2016 game, okay? So I will, at the end of the year, I will take a snapshot of the top 100 games. How many new games will enter the top 100 by the end of next year? And my number I put on that is 2.5. Matthew.
I think over.
Over. Allie?
Yeah. Over.
Francis?
So this is games that are being added that come out in 2024 or just get added
it could have been a game in 2007 nobody's heard about and like boom, there it is.
I think I'm gonna go over.
Okay. Anthony?
Same. Over for me.
Over. Chat, I want to hear from you. 2.5. It's interesting. Well, actually, that'll get into my next question here, and I'll read a few stats. Not a lot of games. Some games kind of fall in and out, but it's not a lot of newbies pop in there.
3-year stats on kind of how that looks.
So I'll kind of go on my next question. Okay. All right. So looks like I'm getting the consensus is probably going to be over for the chat on that one. If it changes, I'll say something. Okay. Question 4. Continuing with the rankings. At the end of 2024, the number of 2023 games in the BG will be in the BGG top 200. Okay. So at the end of 24, the number of 2023 games in the BGG top 200 will also be 6.5. Now, here's a couple stats. Currently, there are only 3 games from 2023 in the top 200. Earth at 199, Darwin's Journey at 197, and Hegemony at 173. In right now, 2022 games, there's only 8 in the top 200. 2021 games, there's only 10 top 200 games. So I'm saying at the end of 2024, there will be 6.5 2023 games in the top 200? Over or under, Matt?
Sorry, how much? How many?
6.5. Right now, so I was just saying, right now, 22 games, there's 8 2022 games, there's 10 2021 games, and there's only 3 2023 games as of right now. I'm saying there will be 6.5 by the end of 2024. And you gotta think what games are still out there. You could actually bust that.
Rough. I'll go under on this one.
Okay.
It's like counter to my last answer, but I'll
it is. Yeah. Just a little bit. Allie?
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay,
Actually,
under. Francis?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say over.
Okay, over.
I think over too.
Over. And the consensus so far under in the chat is also under. It is kind of interesting when you kind of see what the next few games are. I'd have to go back and look. I believe, let's see here. I had it up earlier. Oh, I don't have it up right now. But it was like the next ones were like 400, 600, and then you're into the thousands. And some pretty decent games too. So it'll be interesting to see. Now you just had, some big games. Sleeping Gods just came out. I don't know about Raising Robots. I'm trying to think of some Voidfall's. Voidfall's not in the 200 yet.
PAX Experiment just came out too.
Yeah, I don't know if
that's got
that
Elizabeth Hargrave behind it, and it's been on a lot of their top 10s. Like
been a lot of top
for people
10s.
for this year who have played it.
All right,
we'll see.
We'll see. That's a tough number. Maybe I should have went 5.5. All right. So the consensus is under. All right.
1000s sells really well from a
perspective.
Perspective. Like I've worked with a few, and the numbers they do are really well when they're in the top 1000 of BGG.
Yeah, it is funny when you start going through those lists, even down to like 3,000. You can find some amazing games in that, that section. That's a tough place to get to. I know, I mean, there's a lot of like how games even get ranked over there, but still kind of fun. All right, I got 2 more here. Actually, here's a quick question: will there be a new number 1 next year? By the end of the year.
Ooh.
What's number 1 right now?
That's another bonus question. We'll see. This is a bonus question for tiebreaker. Will there be a new number 1? It's Brass Birmingham right now.
Oh, still Brass.
Now, it might be Pandemic Legacy again, but will there be a new number 1 by the end of 2024? Yes or no, Matt?
Yes.
Allie.
The hype's not dead.
I'm gonna say no.
Hype's not dead. Oh no, where can we go?
We lost the
Oh no.
No.
Internet.
There he is.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm sorry, Allie.
I said no.
No. Francis.
I say no.
Anthony.
No as well. Nope.
Brass.
I'm going to say yes, too. I'm with Matt.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go. All right. I got 2 more questions here. This is right up Francis's alley.
Okay.
Because we actually talked about this on a live stream. The global board game market size. Okay. So we talked about this in 2022.
Yeah.
The global board game market size was 11.8 billion. It is projected in 2023 to be 13.06 billion. Will the market size over under when those numbers come out in September, October, whenever that is, 13.25 billion? I'm basically saying it's coming up a little bit over projection. Will the 2023 board game market size globally be $13.25 billion over or under, Matt? And it was 11.
Does that like include like
last
TCGs and
it's everything?
TRPG, tabletop, role, everything, board games. Honestly, over 13.25 is the question.
Over or under 13.25. The projection is 13.06 billion. Do you think it'll? But I'm saying it'll be 13.25 billion. So you're going to go over that or under that?
From
From 11.
I think it'll go over.
Over?
I think it'll go over. I really do.
Allie?
I'm going under.
Francis?
I'm going under as well.
Anthony?
I'm going under.
I think it'll be over over where it is now, but still under.
It'll be under 12.
projection, yeah.
This is a tough one.
Mhm.
I'm also going to go with Matt again here. I'm going to go over.
Yeah.
I don't know
Let's
how much.
go.
Optimist.
Let's
Yeah.
go. I don't know
I think it's
how
just
much.
growing too much, and I want to keep seeing growing. I'm being optimistic. I think everything, it's TCGs are hot, everything. I know the economy, things are weird in the world or whatever, but I don't know. I think it'll continue to grow, and I'm hoping it gets there. So I'm thinking positively.
We may be taking some copium pills this time next year, but I'll
We'll
stick
see.
with you, man.
I'm voting
Going
no on
over.
everything next year.
And the chat says under, so
The odd guys out.
it's going to be interesting. All right, final question. The most viewed Into the Nexus live stream in 2024 will be 6,500 views. Our biggest for this year was 3,700. I'm going 6,500 views.
Wow, that's big.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Hey, we're going big.
Hey, we
Go
could
big
do
or
it.
Go home.
The thing is, we have to do a live stream on the back end of a huge drama.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is where
That's what you should. That was what
everybody
what
tunes
should-
in.
If
One of
there's
the
drama with
questions should have
ducks
been,
or
when will
I
be the
don't know.
first board game drama?
Oh yeah, that's
With a nice clickbaity
Before
title.
or after?
Hey,
No,
one says
it's before.
no one said there's a real how we get there. It's just that we get there. So over or under 6,500 biggest Into the Nexus live stream views. Matt.
As a guest star who knows nothing about the analytics
You want to be on this again. You are
of this. We're obviously going to surpass that, especially when I know in advance without having to notice like tonight. My audience, we will get there 100%. I say yes. It's going to be over that.
All right,
100%.
over.
Easy.
All right.
Easy.
Allie,
I'm going to say over.
Let's go.
Being optimistic.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Francis?
I'm going over too.
Yeah.
Over.
Anthony?
I'm optimistic. Yeah, I think over. I think we can do it. I think, but we have to do it at the right time, right after the proper drama. I think that's where that's what drives views. It's the truth though, right?
So stupid. That
Whenever,
that's the case.
yeah, like if there's ever that like our biggest video is probably the one we talked about Quackalope.
Right,
That was the
right,
one.
exactly.
I guarantee that's the one, right? That's just how it is. And every year there's always 2 or 3 events that go on that we could probably do that.
That being said, I think we talked to so many people, even at PAX, who were like, we love the panels, we love watching them. A lot of people watching syndication, which is cool. And I think that if we get on our schedule, we do a better job of actually like pushing promoting them and all of that kind of thing. And if Gary brings more game show topics, then
dude,
awesome.
it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I love this segment every time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going under, but
This guy.
I need a tiebreaker, right? I need a tiebreaker.
You're hedging. He's the
I'm
hedge.
hedging my bets here, right? Just need to get some, we need to get some tunes in here to like $25,000 pyramid, something like that.
Yeah.
My next game show. So,
dude, we will definitely make that happen, but you have to wear a jacket similar to that.
Yeah.
In the middle
And
of
Gary,
summer.
we needed to know: are you wearing the matching pants?
No, I'm not actually.
Or you're not wearing any pants?
I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me show you. Right. Yeah. There you go. So
Yeah, we lost.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Great.
I had a second one of these, but I don't know what happened to it. But these are always fun to wear.
Yeah.
But yeah,
let's
all right.
see. Do we have anything going on in the chat? I know some people were talking about some games. People are talking about Apiary. I just giggle when I look at that game. I'm sorry. We didn't play it. I can't talk about it if it's good, but I can't get past the theme because at first I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I want to play a game about an apiary, bees going to the hive, doing the things, but then like all of a sudden it's like space bees. Like what is happening with this?
I want the regular bees.
Space.
I want nature games.
Yeah,
just give me the regular bees.
Yeah, that's where I look. I was like, oh yeah,
I'm just not interested in playing it. So
didn't draw me over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we're moving into mushrooms, and I don't know.
That
game's got fungus in it, so
it is cute.
So many.
Crazy.
Athlete's Foot, the game.
Oh goodness! All right.
I don't know.
Well, that was really fun. Gary, you are hired to come up with more game show topics.
I got plenty of those. Yeah, well, I'll come up with something.
Yeah, let's come up with. Yeah, I think that would be huge if we could do something like that every other week, and we'll put something together offline to see what makes sense. But I think that would be huge.
Absolutely.
And I think our last topic for today was going to be just kind of talking about what we're playing over the holidays or what we're giving. Or
everybody just throws a few games out there. What are you looking to play over the holidays?
I'm hoping to. For me personally, I want to play Raising Robots. I got that. I definitely want to play that. I've just started playing. Well, I got Santa's Workshop just the other day, so play that with the kids and family. So that seems like a lot of fun. I picked up Tales to Amaze the Unmatched co-op. So I'm hoping to try that. But definitely Raising Robots, definitely Santa's Workshop. And I've been playing Skies Above Britain, and it's just awesome. It came out this year. It's right up my alley, and I love it. So it's great. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And then whatever party game, wants to break out too.
Right.
So
cool. Yeah. What about you, Matt?
My turn. I've been playing like a bunch of prototypes and stuff like that, things I could submit it. But I'm also in the middle of like a move right now during the holiday season. So that's been fun. I'm gonna start that in like a week. So if I get anything to the table, that'll be cool. But I bought a game at BGG Con. I've just been so busy with conventions, and then I was sick after them and stuff like that. But I got this is kind of basic, but I got a Ticket to Ride Legacy, and I'm excited to just see what that unfolds with the game group that I have here in the DFW area. So
that's awesome, man. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And Allie?
Yeah. So I don't know, for people that do follow me, I do a 10x5 solo challenge every 4 months. So I am woefully behind on my most recent one. We have 14 days left in December, and I have 27 plays left. So as soon as I'm done with work for the year and I have some time off, my goal is to hopefully blast through those, hit the big box ones before we go out of town. And then if I need to take some small box ones with me, I'll do that. But outside of my solo challenge, big push at the end of the year, I just got the Grand Carnival expansion in. So I'm looking forward to checking that out and seeing what that adds to the game. I love that game. Very fun little tile placement game. And then hopefully playing some more games with the girls. We haven't played a whole lot together this year. My youngest is 8, and she is definitely more into playing than my oldest. But my oldest got the new Lord of the Rings game that Gary picked up for us at Gen Con. So hopefully getting that one to the table as well so she can play that one.
Which one was that?
Lord of the Rings. Adventure to Mount Doom.
Oh, yeah. That's the one we played. Yeah. That's Cosmos, right?
Cosmos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's perfect.
Awesome. What about you? What do you want to play?
I definitely want to play Earthborn Rangers. I think I want to see what that's about. Hopefully it's not terrible. I also would like to, if we can, play the War of the Rings card game. I've got the expansion that makes it co-op. Like, it's not a game I thought we'd have fun playing against each other. So I knew they were doing co-op in the expansion. So I'm like, all right, I'll just scoop that up and we'll play it once I get that, because that's solo or co-op you can do. So definitely want to see how that experience is.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
you?
I want to play Nucleum, which is currently on
it's on the
that's
table.
under what you see here on our table, and it's taking up the entire table.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's terrible. I mean, not the game, but
it's
taking up the
size of it. Yeah.
So I want to play that. I would like to play a couple more of these. Like this Lawyer Up we played last night. We were so tired.
Yeah.
But we played our first game of that, and it was a lot of fun. It's like that, just kind of back and forth sort of thing.
Yeah, I like those.
And I want to say that my stepdad got Santa's Workshop at PAX.
Oh, okay.
My mom was trying to tell. She's like, "Well, we have this elf game. It's like, it's like a Santa something, like an elf game." So we're gonna try to play it at Christmas. I have no idea what game it is.
Hopefully
it's Santa's Workshop, because everybody's been talking about it. She's like, "I don't think that's what it was." I'm like, well, we'll see. So maybe get some stuff in with the family.
Monopoly, the Christmas edition.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then I think our big project is, the next couple weeks, just trying to start getting rid of games finally. So we moved a couple times this year. You guys that follow us know that. And we just got I spent a whole day cleaning out the garage so that we can actually bring some of our boxes of games into our garage and start selling them. So that project is going to be underway too.
Yeah, we brought 5 extra large moving boxes full of board games back.
Like the other day.
Just 5.
Yeah.
And we're going to work on that. We probably have another 20 more in the storage. And each of those holds
20 extra large.
More extra large boxes. Each of them holds probably 20 plus games.
We'll have to share. I'll share out on Instagram the video. I took a video when we were in storage the other day, and I didn't have time to post it, but I'm gonna basically be visiting our board games.
Yeah,
because it's just
basically
boxes and boxes.
I pay rent every month for those board games to be in a climate controlled storage facility. Think about that, right?
It's just insane.
That should be another over under. You will have 300.
We should have done that. Yeah. Are we down? Sierra Pool says, "Are you down to 595 games?" We actually have gotten rid of some. So.
Yeah, and we're trying to find the best ways to get rid of them en masse.
Yeah, we did get quoted. Actually, we tried to go down to our what's that? Not the game store, but
it's a used game store. They're out there. So this one, they basically deal in used games. So they'll buy games from people and resell them, right? So
we give them a list of 20 games. It's including an in-shrink copy of Cerebria, I think was on there.
Some nice stuff.
And they quoted us $81.
Yeah. For about $400 worth of games, right? And
how about
it really, so I wouldn't even go back to them, but it's it concerns me in that, is that what we're being priced at? Because it's kind of like the GameStop treatment, right? When you have a used video game, like you've got Madden, and you're like, all right, I'm going to trade it in now because the new Madden's coming out, and they give you $5 for it. Yeah. But they're going to sell it for $25.
Well, that's the thing, is they'll give you the $81, or you can get store credit to I don't know what it was, $130 or something.
They were giving us $4 a game so they can turn around and sell them for $30. I get it. There's overhead to it, and risk. Yeah, they have to make it the profit, but it's not at my expense. $4 for this game. I know I can get 25 for it.
Yeah, and not that we're trying to make a boatload, but it's it's just funny.
The thing is, you just have to put in a little couple hours to list them on the eBay yourself.
That's
and
it.
Stuff like
that.
I sell a lot of stuff on eBay. I give you guys the hour course, and you can, if you kind of lay it out, you can fast track it. But that's probably your best route to get what it's worth.
Yeah,
at least close to it.
Or at least not $4.
Yeah, for sure. So we're definitely
gonna. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was just it's
not worth the gas to take. Them
I'm I'm not giving these games away. That's just dumb.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I think that's our holiday thing. So.
Yeah, that is. So we're definitely gonna play some games.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, I think we're about at time, guys. I think this is a good episode. I like this one. I really did. So we're gonna have to work on the Q&A part. I think is huge for us. But all right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We glad we had a good audience tonight. A good chunk of folks reactive. So
a lot of good chat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, real good. Yep.
Yeah, and I'd say if you're watching this in syndication afterwards, go ahead and draw. I don't always say like watching syndication. I guess you don't really watch it in syndication.
No, the replay.
If you're watching the replay, let us know in the comments what games you're excited to, what you've played this year that you're excited about. What are your highs and lows? What are your over-unders? I guess Gary will just manage that for the next year.
I want to hear some over-unders.
And then, and I think we'll come back and, we might do another panel before the year ends. We'll talk about it.
We'll try,
but we'll definitely look at doing sort of like our thoughts for 2024 when it is in fact 2024. So that'll come in January, I think.
For sure.
But you'll be seeing a lot more from all of us, I think, before the year ends. So thanks for coming and joining us tonight.
Yep. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Thanks for having me.